Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your soulmate. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get kind of a feel for the energies, what's going on with your soulmate right now. Then I will read the letter and follow that up with some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through here in the first portion or can serve as additional words and messages for you from your soulmate's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. So, what are the energies around your soulmate looking like right now? What's going on with this person? We have embracing, wisdom, love, release, inner peace, and potential. So this is definitely somebody who is in their feels, a lot of watery energy here, a lot of deep introspection at this time. It feels like there may have been some triggers recently, maybe in the dynamic between the two of you if you're in contact with one another, or if this is a situation where there's separation or some distance. They could definitely have opened the door to some deeper questions within, as far as feelings that have stirred for you, things that have transpired already in this circumstance and situation, forward thinking plans and momentum for the future. But then with that, there's almost the sense of colliding with aspects that are very contradictory within themselves that stand in the way of the actualization of the full potential and blossoming of love and affection between the two of you. So this can be kind of patterns in how they've been showing up in romance, that they are really taking the time to look at and ask themselves very seriously, does this serve the future potential of what I want to experience in love moving forward, in a partnership with this person, or what are some things that I need to address and transmute into something more productive so that better results follow. This can also be things that have been triggered as far as memories of times where they have opened their heart, invested in connections, only to have things fall apart. A little bit of sort of fear of the unknown with this embracing card here. If we take things a step forward, is this something which is going to wither on the vine? Is this something which is going to lead to a lot of heartbreak and anguish? Or is this something where we're both going to be very pleasantly surprised and very much in a state of gratitude and celebration at taking that leap of faith, at things working out better than expected? Past relationships, past situations, wounds that hadn't closed or healed, or maybe had just never been dealt with, had just been swept under the carpet. All of these things kind of deliberately and almost instinctively, it feels like, are really being brought up to this person's attention at this point. Are you willing to take that leap of faith in the direction of love? Or are you going to allow that polarity of fear, a history of kind of pain and disappointment and anguish as far as romance, stop you from kind of tasting and experiencing the fullness of what's possible in this situation? So it feels like this is somebody who is exploring a lot of fear-based currents, but they are doing so with a level of determination and very conscious effort, not to turn away in the face of fear, but to really just examine all those nooks and crannies for what they are. Is this the reality of the picture that has been painted for me through my experiences of what love is? What am I holding on to that is an illusion that is in fact kind of standing in the way of loving experiences, generating a sense and a current of dynamics, the dissolution of dynamics, things kind of failing to get off the ground, failing to launch as kind of the self-fulfilling prophecy almost of all the polarities and experiences and possibilities of what love is not. These are big questions that they're weighing at this point that can definitely speak to some anticipation about exiting the current dynamic between the two of you, the current understanding, and moving more in the direction of the building of intimacy, cracking open seeds of potential, feeding into this connection in a very positive manner. For some, that will involve, coming forth with an apology, opening up more deeply in terms of like heart-to-heart conversations, or even for others kind of a declaration on this person's part of, I want to evolve things further, I want to be more than friends, I want to take you out on a date, I want us to become exclusive, I want us to take this exclusivity and start to really concretely plan for a monogamous future together. It's going to be different for everybody, but it feels like even for those where it's just a situation of very much kind of sitting in some deep emotions, taking those deep dives within, there is definitely a sense of, no matter how heavy it is, there's light at the end of the tunnel. This is somebody who, even on kind of the darkest day and with the heaviest thoughts or memories or the hauntings of what love maybe was promised to be and didn't actually turn out to be in the past, they're still very optimistic. They're still looking at you in this situation through the lens of love. And it's almost kind of surveying that inner terrain, that kind of shadow self, to see what are some pieces and parts of my emotions or my understanding or my experiences that maybe need to take more of a backseat or be emphasized or really kind of be faced head on, so that there's progress, there's movement, there's evolution in this situation, rather than stagnancy or missed opportunity based on kind of the aspects of the unacknowledged shadow and fear really pulling the strings in this situation. This is somebody who's leaning in the aspect and energy of, I want the sovereignty to move forward in the direction of the heart, and the approach that they are taking is one of almost like receptivity and surrender, really just digesting what it is that they are encountering, asking deep questions of themselves and of kind of their rooted beliefs about love and partnership, their experiences of the past, to try and create a narrative forward that in some way is different than what they've experienced with you up to this point, and definitely on more of a fundamental level that is different in a positive manner from what they personally have experienced in kind of the grand total of their timeline of romances or potential romances kind of throughout their life. There's an interest in sort of moving beyond disappointments further into the current of, we're building towards something that is mutually satisfying. We're building towards something that can flourish and thrive rather than kind of lacking potential or something that is subverted through kind of these unacknowledged aspects of the shadow. So let's see what is in the love letter, what your soulmate wants you to know at this time from their higher self. I feel buttery inside at the thought of you. This is how I know this connection is different from anything I have experienced before. You call out from hiding a braver me. The idea of the mountains and the rivers of fear I must cross to find myself at your door, ready, beyond a shadow of a doubt, to love you the right way, brings me a feeling of determination. I will not let the sun set on the opportunity to call you mine, for us to truly belong to each other. I want to show you my secret heart. I want to rise into love for the first time in my life with you. I want to paint over our past mistakes with one another and replace all the words we wish we could take back and the nights that didn't end so well with the color of love. I want to be fully present to every season of our connection as it evolves. I want to stick it out with you when times are desolate, until joy returns to us again. I am taking steps in your direction that I have yet to share with you. I want my arrival to you to be sustainable this time. So, these message cards can either reinforce what came through here in the first part of the reading, or can serve as additional words for you from your soulmate's higher self at this time. And they say, I abandoned our connection out of fear. I can't commit to you right now. I shouldn't have let you go. I'm so happy when I am around you. I want to take our relationship to the next level. I'll never forget the time we spent together. You are my heaven on earth. I am truly sorry. I am walking away from toxic situations. It's you I've been looking for my whole life. And you mean the world to me. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your soulmate, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got W, L, V, O, R, J, K, A, E, S, U, C, P, L, Y, and S. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and several varieties of channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And now through the end of the year, I'm running a sale in my Etsy shop. All the jewelry and the dream catchers are marked down 25%. So if you've had your eye on anything, now would be a great time to take advantage of that sale. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link to that in the description of the video, as well as in the channel section of my page. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for the energies surrounding your soulmate, what's going on with them right now. And then I will get into the channeled letter and follow that up with some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through here in the first part or serve as additional words and messages for you from your soulmate's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. So, what's going on with your soulmate? Where are they at energetically? Okay, so we have going forward, trust, potential, happiness, success, and embracing. So this is definitely the energy of somebody who is in the process of trying to strategize a way beyond actual challenges. This can be third-party situations for some, geographic distance, a fight or a falling out that you and your soulmate may have had, and kind of how to make amends and sort of move back in the direction of building toward a prosperous future. This can have to do with differences between the two of you, sort of like a yin-yang dynamic, and questioning about how you're going to fit into each other's sort of worlds and realities. Anything as far as literal kind of obstacles, but then it also feels to be something emotionally speaking, where there are big feelings here, or a desire to move overall and kind of in the grand scheme of things in the direction of joy and happiness. But they're almost kind of fearing, it feels like a little bit of this, if the situation is too good to be true, is this vibration of harmony that you share with one another when times are good, is this something sustainable? Is this something that either the foundation you've laid with one another, maybe you haven't known each other that long, or even if you've known each other for a while, it's been kind of a back and forth, or there are a lot of complications. There's a sense of almost, for all the challenges, for all the excuses, for all the difficulties, their heart keeps coming back around to you. They're very much pulled in your direction, but a sense of like, is this enough? Is love enough? Is this magnetization enough? Is an energetic bond between us enough to kind of get us through the storms, to really be that consistent motivation beyond the challenges? There's a sense of fear as well of this person becoming stranded in love all alone. That may have happened to them at some point in their past, where they had really invested in someone, thought things were going along in kind of a mutual and reciprocal pace, only to find themselves kind of out in the wilderness, having kind of not the same ability to follow through on promises made as the person that they were dealing with. Intentions that at one point in time had been in alignment, and then two people kind of moving off in their own directions. Changes of heart, and kind of not like a lack of follow through, but there's a sense that for a lot of people this was not communicated. They were almost just sort of dumped or ghosted or replaced with somebody else. Things might have fallen apart very quickly. That could have been one situation in particular. For some people this is going to be a divorce, multiple divorces, kind of like deep love, maybe even early or young love, and sort of the scars from that, the wounds have never healed. It's the idea of like once bitten, twice shy. They feel something very deeply for you. They feel very compelled in your direction, but may have been in the process of sort of standing in their own way, self-sabotaging, looking at the situation almost as a glass half empty, willing themselves to see that. There's an energy here of not wanting to progress forward from the lens of naivete. But with that is almost, they've put themselves in a ditch, is what it feels like. They've kind of backed away from the connection energetically, or have not taken the chance to kind of propel things forward at sort of appropriate junctures and times, and now they find themselves stranded in the sense of it's not so easy, it's not so linear to progress forward. There's a need to kind of hoist themselves up out of a lens of skepticism that they have been looking at this connection with maybe the whole time, or that when big feelings and kind of this forward projections, forward momentum started, like long-term plans and preparations, a defense mechanism might have kicked in. Something got triggered within that's almost saying to them, it feels like, remember the last time you opened your heart in love and you were wrong. Remember what that did. Don't let yourself fall victim to that again. So it's almost somebody who's tried to vet out the situation or you or their feelings, but it's now work to their disservice. It's work to their disadvantage. And so there's a longing to kind of evolve beyond that, move beyond that. But the biggest culprit, it feels like, even aside from material circumstances that might not be the most conducive for progress, it's something as far as like a pattern of fear within, something within, almost like a helicopter parent that's just very overprotective of this person. Their own sort of ego and emotional state is like, don't risk too much because you'll get hurt. And so rather than that being a state of comfort, even at one point in time, if they'd kind of pushed you away or distanced themselves and they had felt this is in accordance with the highest good, this is what feels right, this is kind of giving me the green light, as opposed to maybe even sort of red flags that they were self-creating in this situation or looking for where they didn't really exist, kind of taking for granted the bliss and harmony you've shared at different points in time. Now there's a sense of, I don't like this distance. I don't like how I've retreated into myself. I don't like how I've pushed you away. Operating in this vibration of kind of giving the benefit of the doubt to the worst case scenario within, it's put them at a distance from happiness, or it's made it almost more of an uphill battle, an uphill climb to get to kind of that precipice of now we're evolving into something more. So they feel to be somewhat entrenched within themselves, but definitely kind of looking for a way through, how to kind of cut through the debris which is within kind of their own emotional baggage and wounding, or almost sort of like find a shortcut, fast track their way. They may really feel that they've kind of wasted time, or that time is not on their side in this situation. There's a feeling of not wanting this to be something that slips through their fingers, and it's kind of the action steps are too little too late. And so there's a sense of it's taken time, or maybe it very quickly for some sort of dissolved into this place where now there's kind of this chasm between the two of you. Even if you're still dealing with one another, this might be energetically speaking, but there's a sense of, I don't want to waste any more time hovering around in this place, this fortress within of just kind of pessimism as far as love or kind of the feelings within them were concerned in this situation. It's no longer feeling comforting. It's feeling very much like a trapped energy. And so they're looking for that way out for themselves, with the intention of moving towards you with something to give, something to provide, or to invest that kind of might smooth out any difficulties you faced, might leave you with a sense of trusting and kind of a greater plan that they have in the works, as far as creating more symmetry between the two of you, or just demonstrates kind of a willingness to try again, start again, give more than they have in the past, and kind of build at a measured pace beyond what the current circumstances are. So let's see what they want you to know from their higher self. I'm sorry for running. I have become everything I thought I could never be in the face of love. You fill me with equal portions of fear and awe. The phenomena which have manifested since we have gotten to know one another is startling and frequent. I have been awoken on more than one occasion by the sense of your presence and by the sound of your name shouted in dreams. I have wondered seriously if there is some sort of trickery afoot, or if I am simply losing my mind. I have pushed so hard against the idea of you. I have silenced the persistent whisper that calls my attention in your direction, only to have the scream of desire, of hunger, of longing peel me out of a defensive stance into complete surrender. I have tried making my way back to you in 100 ways, and still I am stranded at a distance from the closeness we once shared. I seek to overcome the layers of denial that encourage me to turn my face away from the utter truth that I am in love with you. I wasn't expecting love to make such an impact. I wasn't expecting to run from my own blessing. So let's see what else your soulmate wants you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, you feel like home to me. I like that you are different from the rest. I don't know how you feel. I need to make a decision. I want to take our relationship to the next level. I made the wrong choice. I am seeking advice from close family and friends. I am really attracted to you. Please give me some time to heal. I miss our friendship. And let's get through this together. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or of you or your soulmate, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got H, T, C, A, R, N, V, W, O, F, B, S, Q, Z, E, I, D, and L. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop. And there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and several different kinds of channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And now through the end of the year, I'm running a sale in my Etsy shop. All the jewelry and dream catchers are marked down 25%. So if you had your eye on anything, now would be a great time to take advantage of that sale. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link to that in the description box of the video, as well as in the channel section of my page. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. We chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for the energies around your soulmate, what's going on with them right now. And then I will read the channeled letter and follow that up with some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through here in the first part of the reading or can serve as additional words and messages for you from your soulmate. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. So, what's going on with your soulmate right now? Where are they at energetically? So we have inner peace, pleasure, freedom, illumination, fulfillment, and flow. So this is definitely the energy of somebody who is looking at you in a very favorable light. There's a lot of desire to evolve things forward, to continue along the pace of getting to know one another, spending time with one another, a lot of value that they see in the time spent, the words exchanged. There's a lot of focus on how you make this person feel inside, rather than focusing so much on desiring more with you or desiring to start a connection with you, to elevate things forward. There's a sense of them almost kind of reflecting and gauging their level of interest and involvement and kind of future and forward planning by the sense of you make them feel very alive inside. You fill them with a lot of joy that is almost, it remains, it radiates long after you've encountered one another, long after you've been with one another. This is somebody that's almost kind of walking on cloud nine in the aftermath of dealings with you, even if it's just in a very kind of mundane sense, energetically speaking, just being in your presence, exchanging thoughts and ideas with you, spending time with you. It's something that they find to be very nourishing. There's a desire for more. There's a desire to continue to invest and see how things evolve between the two of you, but at a very organic pace. This is not somebody who's wanting to rush the situation forward, but they're very much in a place of peace with going with the flow of things. They feel that you've got a good rhythm with one another, or if you find yourself in kind of a place of dissonance, maybe there's been some misunderstandings, different kind of obstacles have come up, maybe some things had been triggered within one or both of you at a certain point in time. There's definitely a desire to push past that and get back into a space of equilibrium with one another, to get back to the place where your experiences together, even if you're not seeing eye to eye, kind of an agree to disagree sort of situation, that at least there's kind of value, there are positive memories being built, the experience with you, connecting with you, enriching them on kind of like a human level, the soul to soul bond that you share with one another, introducing them or showing them a deeper kind of resonance of peace which is possible and which exists within them. The idea of evolving the connection forward, or resurrecting the connection, or in some way just investing more, continuing to invest more in kind of the actualization of hope in this situation, fills them with a sense of ease and comfort. At some point in time, if they had been kind of fearful, maybe they got triggered and kind of backed away from the situation, they are definitely leaning more in the direction of, I want to give to this. I want there to be equal give and take. I want us to participate with one another in expanding beyond the borders and parameters of how we define ourselves to one another, the frequency and the nature of your encounters or experiences with one another. There's a sense of wanting to spend more time together, looking forward at kind of, also looking back at sort of how far you come in this situation, but then looking forward to where they would like to see things evolve during this next phase, this next chapter, this next season between the two of you. It's a lot of optimism that for all the ups and downs that you may have experienced, you're overall headed in a good direction with one another, or there's a desire to kind of bring their energy to the table in such a way that things are pivoted or shifted away from something that may have felt a little bit one-sided, a little bit lopsided, or that there was just kind of some static or dissonance between the two of you. There's a desire to kind of move back into the state of calm and certainty, a sense of almost like when you're with one another, when you're spending time with one another, when you're talking, time itself evaporates, and that's something that they enjoy. That it's a very unique experience compared to even the most deep and intimate connections that they've had over long periods of time. There's something where it's almost the two of you are very much kindred spirits. They definitely are acknowledging this for a lot of people consciously as a soulmate, as a deep soul connection, as a twin soul, that there's just a bondedness between the two of you, that they are curious and enthusiastic about exploring that further, getting to know you more, building upon the foundation you have set with one another, repairing any damage that has been done, so that you can kind of just close out certain chapters, close out certain experiences, and start to build in a better direction. There may be an important conversation that they are in the process of kind of putting the pieces together to initiate with you. It feels that it's still kind of in the state of sort of gathering up all that they want to say. There's a sense of, we need to have a deeper discussion, or I'm reaching the place of readiness to open up more about my feelings. This is also the sense of them wanting to start to just appreciate you and the situation for whatever phase you are at in your connection with one another in a more regular basis than they have, to make sure that you are valued in their life, that this dynamic has meaning to them in a very substantial way. A lot that's kind of been hidden with these two full moons here that they are wanting to bring out into a space of illumination. Feelings are kind of more of a wide range forward progression that they've been envisioning, that they've had and kind of kept within themselves, kind of kept hidden for quite some time. It feels like they're in the process of sort of finding the words, maybe planning the moment for some planning an occasion, some kind of special occasion, waiting for something upcoming, or in the process of kind of, how do I make this moment very special, to kind of open up some line of dialogue, make some kind of confession, ask a question, start to kind of lean or expand the situation into deeper topics, deeper expression of emotions, deeper kind of declarations, or even discussions about like promises that they want to make in a long-term sense with you, that they're kind of, it's almost like they've moved beyond some barrier of fear or a need to kind of pull back and think about things over a period of time, and that they're now in the state of certainty. I want to invest in this. This connection feels good. It feels good for both of us. It feels good for me as an individual. And this is the place that I am finding my joy. I am finding my peace on multiple levels, and I want to give more into this. And so some kind of big discussion, major discussion, series of discussions that it's the idea of like the truth shall set you free. So feelings that have been harbored, or again kind of longer range plans, or a visioning, a sense of kind of maybe creating more of a defined understanding of what you are to one another. If it's kind of a vague situation, or even sort of exploring and expanding, stepping beyond those parameters of how you've been defined to one another up to this point in time. They're very much at a state of peace with things branching off into that area, rather than resistance. It's the element of like, it's time. This is only natural that we will evolve beyond this current state in a positive manner. That's something that they're welcoming, and it's something that kind of quietly and internally, it feels like they're in the process of what they are going to contribute to kind of do their part to hasten or sort of direct the current of the next stage or flow between the two of you. So let's see what they want you to know right now. Give it time, and we will see this through. Everything that has become tattered between us can be repaired. We are stronger because of the challenge of grounding this connection into reality little by little. I am in this with you. We can do this if we work together with what we have where we are. I am looking deeper than is comfortable for the things I need to own about my own shadow, which have harmed your heart. I hope that the gift of self-awareness translates to you as effort on my part to help birth this connection into something more. I dream of us, you and I together, years from now. I don't know if this is an ideal or a prophecy, and it matters not how it is defined. This is the window of time that I am climbing into regularly. This love is far from ordinary, and I am so grateful for having the chance to taste such magic in my life. I know things haven't been easy between us, but nothing good and lasting comes without some degree of needing to fight for it. All of this uncertainty will be worth it in the end. Yours is the only face my heart can see now. So let's see what else your soulmate wants you to know from their higher self. And they say, I will be reaching out soon. You always know what to say to make me feel better. I am seeking advice from close family and friends. I love spending time with you. Can we take things slow? I'm guarded. I am so happy when I am around you. I miss our friendship. You are my heaven on earth. I want to take our relationship to the next level. Will you give me a second chance? And let's get through this together. So the initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your soulmate, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got K, G, D, A, V, C, W, T, M, T, Q, E, B, P, and G. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or your own personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and several varieties of channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And now I'm running a sale in my Etsy shop, so now through the end of the year, all the dream catchers and jewelry are marked down 25%. So if you've had your eye on anything, now would be a great time to take advantage of that sale. tutorial, and I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link to that in the description box of the video, as well as in the channel section of my page. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance, so if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.